Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Waseem here from the channel Handsome Smiles. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today will be a first impressions of the fragrance called Paul Louis from the house of Oscar de la Renta. So I came across this video while watching a lot of videos from one of my favourite reviewers, who is Lex Ellis, and I saw he did a review of this one and I was quite intrigued because it was a affordable fragrance. I picked this up 90ml for only £18, and he mentioned about how this was like a really old school masculine type of scent, and I'm really getting into those type of fragrances at the moment. And he was really complimentary about this fragrance and gave it a really high score. And I watched a few other reviewers like Joy Amin and Fragrance Matt, some of my favourite reviewers as well, and it just seemed like a fragrance I really wanted to get my nose on, and the price point was fantastic. So this one was released in 1980, and looking at some of the reviews, they were sort of describing it to be a lot like Antaeus by Chanel, which is one of my favourite fragrances. I've reviewed it on my channel. If you do want to check it out, please do. But yeah, let's give this a first impressions. The box looks really very standard but clean. I quite like it. So it just has at the top Paul Louis, and at the bottom Oscar de la Renta and some information. At the back is some ingredients. Top there's nothing, and some information at the bottom like the batch code and some other information that's not too important to myself. So let's unbox this, give it a first impression. So that's the box. A standard sort of box, nothing to write them about, but I quite like this simplicity. Wow, the bottle is a little bit dirty. I picked this up from All Beauty. I wonder if the if Oscar de la Renta, the company, stores this in sort of a warehouse that's quite dusty. But this is the bottle. I have to say it looks very futuristic and very cool. I actually really like it. It's this beautiful, like nearly fluorescent type of a blue glass. It's not a blue fragrance from what I've gathered from the reviews. It looks super cool. I quite like it. The cap sticks on quite snugly. It's plastic cap. Not too bad, quite heavy but not too significant either. The sprayer looks quite nice, of a decent quality, but let's give this a first impressions. So Paul Louis from the house of Oscar de la Renta. This is a 90ml bottle, eau de toilette concentration, that I picked up for £18 brand new. Sprayer is very good. Okay, it's giving off a very green, clean sort of smell. I believe there's a note of pine because it's reminding me a little bit of Coral by Antonio Puig. So there's a lot of, it starts off very green. I'm getting Coram sort of vibes. Slightly barbershoppy, but not massively. So think very green, but dark foresty green, and a note of pine. The opening, I'll be honest, the first initial spray, there was a lot of alcohol, and maybe you need this to settle a little bit more to enjoy it. But the opening was alcohol heavy, and maybe that's why the price point is the way it is. On my skin, it's coming across a little bit light, not very strong, but the main thing I'm getting is a greenness, and I believe it's the note of pine. It sort of reminded me a little bit of Coram by Antonio Puig, which is actually really beautiful, one of my favourite fragrances. But it's not exact copy or anything, it just shares that little bit of a similarity. And now it's become a little bit smoother, and there's a slight note of leather. It is very masculine, however, and I do imagine this one to be worn by a slightly mature gentleman, someone maybe in their 30s and above. So this was released in 1980s. Let's look at the note breakdown. So at the top we're going to get aldehydes, lavender, juniper berries, basil, galbanum, sage, caraway, anise and bergamot. So no pine. I was definitely wrong about that one. But at the opening I definitely pick up a lot of greenness. The middle notes or the heart notes are carnation, patchouli, cinnamon, cedar, geranium, vetiver, and a note that I've not come across before, and I believe it's pronounced K. Clamen. I'm not sure what that is. Let's look into that one. Clay Clamen. So it is a flower, and the odor profile, according to Fragrantica, is a fine synthetic note replicating the refined, light, and clean and mysterious scent of K. Clamen flowers. Never tried anything like that before. And the base of the fragrance is oak moss, leather, labdanum, sandalwood, and musk. I wonder if it's the oak moss which was giving me that green foresty sort of smell that sort of invoked pine to me. I'm not too sure. But first impressions for this one, opens up very green. There is a strong alcoholic sort of splash in the opening, but once you go past that, it just gives off a very green sort of smell. It's very masculine, very bold, and I can see a mature gentleman wearing this one. This is not a fragrance like your Sauvage or anything like that of the world. It comes across like a very 80s fragrance. So yeah, that was my first review, first impressions, not a review, of Paul Louis from the House of Oscar de la Renta. I hope you enjoyed this first impressions. If you have, please do leave me a like and a comment below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. Until next time, my friends, see you later.